Hi there, this is Kim Baker from Kim's Creative Corner, and today I want to show you a card that I am entering in a challenge, and it's a fun fold with a little surprise element that I've never done before, and I want to recreate that with you and show you how I did it. So, without further ado, this is the card. And it looks like just a plain card, right? But the fun element is this slide closed piece. Isn't that fun? So I'm going to teach you how to make the slider in this today. I have pre-cut and pre-stamped everything. So I will show you the pieces that we're going to use. The first piece is just jade. I switched up the colors a little bit. The challenge card is, the base is Misty Moonlight. So we're going to use just jade for the base in this one. And this is 10 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then we have two pieces of 4 by 5 1/4. One needs to match your base, and then I'm using a textured layer for the top. This is the new Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder. It's subtle, yet not so subtle. It's pretty cool. I'm excited about using it. The challenge card is from pieces that my upline sent me, and I had to make a card. So we were using the Forever Greenery DSP, and then she embossed pieces for us and we had to use them. So I don't have this embossing folder yet. This embossing folder is the Old World paper embossing folder, so I do have that one, but I wanted to use this one to change it up, so that's what we're doing. The stamp set and die cuts I'm using as the Celebrate Sunflowers bundle, and I don't know about you, but I just think this is gorgeous. I see it used a lot already. So, and these are the die cuts. So I pre-stamped the sunflower on Bumblebee cardstock with Sahara Sand ink, and then I die cut the detailed layer and the center. So we'll glue those together. We'll glue those together, and so that you can see how I do it for mine. Everybody does things differently, of course. So then I also pre-stamped another sentiment. We used Thanks a Bunch on this one. I'm going to use Let's Celebrate You on the other one. Still keeping with the Forever Greenery DSP. Okay, so let's get started on getting our base done, and we will go from there. Okay, I'm using my trimmer to score this, and the score lines are at 4 1/4 and 4 3/8, 8 5/8, and 8 3/4. Okay, you see those? They're really close together, but we need a space in here to add dimensionals, and I'll show you that when we get to that point. We can put our trusty trimmer away, and let's get to folding. So this can be a little tricky with the fold lines being so close together, but trust me, this is the hardest part of this card. I wanted to do this with you to show you. Almost kind of have to roll it. Okay. One side down, one to go. The first score line always goes easily. It's the second score line that gets tricky. And on camera, I think it always makes it a little more stressful, but that's okay. We shall conquer. Okay. So here you'll see how we have, it creates a space. See that little space that's going to enable us to put some dimensionals in there and lift everything up. There, you can see that better. Okay, and then all we need to do is bring in our classic label punch, and we are going to take the paper down as far as it will go against this end here and butt it up against that first score line and cut that. Then we do the same thing on the big flap. We line it up to the edge of our punch, punch it, and voila, matches up. That's exactly what you want. So then we are going to add our textured pieces. My new order hasn't come yet with our new Stampin' Seal, so I'm still using our old stuff. So then we cover this up. I'm just going to center this. I'm going to put lots of the adhesive on here since it's textured. I don't want it to pop up. Center this again. And then we just go back in and line up our classic label punch again. Punch those out. Like I said, that's the hardest part of the card right there. So we're in like Flynn for the rest, right? And since I said that, I will have probably jinxed myself, right? So let's get our sunflower put together. And all I did for the sunflower was, it matches perfectly, so you just have to figure out the way that it goes. And I find if I find this little one that points over to the left, that usually I can line it up. Now I left the other one loose. I kind of like it loose and separated. So we're just going to put some Tombow glue on this section here. And get my trusty little silicone mat here so I don't end up with glue everywhere. Because since I'm on camera, I definitely would. And then I found my little point again. I line those points up. Push that down and let it dry. I could take my fine tip glue pen and go over those lines. Or we have a trusty new adhesive I could have cut. If I really wanted this to lay down, you can run the adhesive through on this, and I'll show in another video, I can't talk, how to do that. Then I'm going to use our black dimensionals for the back of the sunflower, because I noticed in looking at this one, I don't know if you can see that, but the white shows through those little dots for the dimensional. So I'm going to use black this time so it stays dark. And the center was all I raised up on that. Very good. We can put the centerpiece in our card too while we're here. And I have some leaves I want to glue on my sunflower too. I almost forgot about that. And the biggest thing is you don't want the leaves to get in the way of folding the card. So that was a nice lesson for me on the last one. So I need to pay better attention to that on this one. And make sure they're good and sturdy behind that. And I might just snip this off and add it better. Because you see how loose that is? I hand cut these out of that Forever Greenery. So I think I'll just add those down there. I think I like that better. Okay, we'll let that dry. And you need a circle. So we are going to take our one and a half inch circle punch. Just punch that. I like to make it match my card base. So we will put this behind, add a couple of dimensionals, and I'm going to use white this time. And I like to line them up so that the edges match the edges of that punched line. And I'm putting 2 on because I found that if you only put 1, it can spin, and we don't want it to spin. So I think that's dry enough. I want to keep it within the confines of the card. And voila! Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I put 2 layers on the last card. So that's what we're going to do. I made it too high the last time. But that one's sliding good, so we're going to leave it alone. I like that blue textured folder. Wow. But if you look on this one, I don't think you can see very well, but I have 2 layers of dimensionals right on top of each other. And they both close very well. This one is closing a little more snug than the other one, but it's still good. Oh, I love those colors. I wasn't sure about those colors when I put them together, but they really look nice. So, and then all I did was you open up your card. And we need to add the back layer so you can't see this mechanism. And you just put dimensionals all around. Don't go too close to the edge because you don't want them to stick up, because this layer here is shorter than the other layer. So, and you don't want to put dimensionals anywhere that will hinder the circle's movement. This one might be a little far over. I think we're going to be okay. So you put those there, and that gives this room to move without seeing all of those parts. So I have to lift my leaves up because I put them too close to the edge. And then we add our sentiment, and I use the green Tombow glue for this because it's textured. Get it right where I want to center it. And then I added some of our new Bumblebee gingham ribbon. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, it goes with sunflowers so well. And I just made a bunny ear bow. I don't want it to be too big. See, nothing ever flows well when you're trying to videotape. I was trying to make it too small. I was trying to save some of this beautiful ribbon. And I like how when you make the bunny ear bows, the centers come out so pretty. They just tuck right in there nicely. Don't you think? All right. And then I used a glue dot. And put that right on my sonnet. And there you go. A fun, fancy sliding closed card. Ta-da! Pretty, pretty. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this card. And I'd love to hear which you prefer. If you prefer the Just Jade layer or the Misty Moonlight layer. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.